Welcome to Beyond the Shelf with OPL. My name is Dawn.
And my name is Jenny.
And we are so excited to bring to you this podcast.
This is the first time Orrville Public Library, which incidentally is what the OPL stands for, is the first time we're doing a podcast. It's very exciting for both of us, and all of the staff are really excited as well.
So we are going to introduce ourselves to start out so you can get to know us a little bit, and then we're going to talk about all kinds of awesome stuff that the library does. So my name is Dawn. I have 3 job titles, actually. I'm a reference technician, which means I answer your questions at the information desk. I'm also the teen services specialist, which is probably my favorite job. I get to help plan programs for the teens and do fun stuff with teens. And then my third position is the volunteer coordinator, which means I help folks who want to volunteer at the library to do different projects around the library. So that is what I do.
And I'm Jenny. I work at the circulation desk. I am the person that will check your books in and out for you. I also try to serve as a reader advisor. I happen to read a lot, so people will come to me and ask for suggestions, and I am always thrilled to talk about books.
I'm laughing over here because when she says she reads a lot, it's not an understatement. That's for real. What are you reading right now, Jenny?
Right now, I have 2 books going, I believe. I'm reading The Cartographers by Peng Shepherd. It is a mystery type of book. It talks about maps. Obviously, cartographers are map wizards. And then I'm also reading one that will also be in our trendy titles this month. It's called Praying with the Enemy, and it's a true story based on a man who got shot down during the Korean War. I hope it was the Korean War. Now I can't remember, but it was a war for sure.
All right. Oh, what am I reading? I just picked up Coraline recently. I really like the movie and never read the book, so I decided to start reading Coraline. And then I have a graphic novel called Lore Olympus. It's by Rachel Smith. So that started out as a webtoon, which is like comic, like you think Sunday comic in the paper, except for online on the internet, and they made it into a book. They actually made it into several volumes. So it's based on like the Greek gods. The main characters are Hades and Persephone. I'm really excited for that. It looks pretty fun. So that's what I'm reading right now. Speaking of reading, so we are wrapping up our summer reading program right now. And we wanted to tell you about how much reading everybody's been doing who's participated. Specifically in the adult program, we have about 141 readers, and they've read about 1,400 books. These are stats from the end of July, so they probably read, like a couple hundred more since then, I'm sure. We have a summer reading program and winter reading program, and the exciting thing about that is it goes from pre-readers all the way through adults. So we're talking like preschool age kids through, I don't even know how old our oldest readers are, but
they may not want to say.
This is also true.
So we don't ask.
So yeah, we have reading programs for every age, which is fantastic.
And very nicely, our director of the library also gave us a reading challenge for the staff, too. So we're able to win some prizes that are separate from the summer reading program, because it wouldn't be fair if we got picked to win one of those prizes. So there are several of the staff that are joining in and reading. I should have checked to see. I'm not sure how many books they've read. I know I've read close to 30, 35 books this summer.
I read 1.
And 1 is all it takes to win.
The book I read was actually considered the first young adult novel. It's by Maureen Daly, who wrote it when she was 17, and it's called The 17th Summer, which I don't usually read like YA romance, but I was like, I'm going to read this book. And it was really interesting because it was written in like the 40s or 50s. So a lot of the like dating and like expected manners and etiquette you would have are very different than today. So like there was one part where the main character was very upset that the boy clinked his spoon against his teeth when he was eating ice cream with her family.
Deal breaker in the 40s, I guess.
It almost was. It almost was.
Well, I think it's important that we just mention some of the other things that the library offers. We don't just have books. Now, books are our bread and butter, so to speak, and we love to put new books old books, any books into readers' hands so they have the opportunity to read and to improve their quality of life. Because I will tell you, every time you read a book, you absorb part of that book. And so that you actually get to escape into a new world, or you get just information. So some of the things that we have besides books are magazines. We have a large CD collection. We have DVDs. And we have something that's fairly new in the children's department called our Playaway launch pads. And those have become very popular. Those are like, you get those for like a week, and they are screens similar to like an iPad. And it has like specific, maybe teaching Spanish or math or reading. And those are very popular.
They are very popular. They go off the shelves so fast. It amazes me. So we also have a computer lab that is free for the public to use. You don't even have to have a library card to be able to use it here. And with that, we do offer printing. There is a small charge for printing. It's only a dime for a black and white page, which is cheaper than some other places I hear. We also have a copy machine. And we also just have free Wi-Fi if you just want to come in and use the Wi-Fi for a little while and, get out of the heat. We've got that, which is awesome. Near our computer lab, one of the somewhat newer things is our memory lab. So the memory lab we've had for actually about 4 years now. And I just did a video about this on our YouTube channel, in case you didn't know we have a YouTube channel. And the memory lab, we've had over 400 users, and they've digitized literally thousands of their families' memories. And this is everything from slides to Super 8 film to just pictures, or VHS tapes is the most popular thing that folks will digitize in the memory lab, which is also free to use. And that's one of my favorite things about the library, is so much of what we have here to offer people is free.
I love that too. When people come up and check out books and I say, I hope you found something that you enjoy today. And they're like, we'll see. And I said, either way, you can bring it back because it didn't cost you anything to check out a book or a movie or a CD. And that is what's so wonderful about the library. I know we have patrons that will come in and they'll be like, I just wanted to get one book, and they'll get like 12. And I said, well, I go to Walmart to get milk and I come out with, a wheelbarrow and a new necklace, and it costs me a whole lot more than what it costs you to come to the library. So it's always worth it to stop into the library and see what's new.
Absolutely. We do try to do things outside of our four walls as well. We have outreach programs to preschools. Some of our children's department staff go to some preschools to do story time, which is great. Again, early learning, early reading. We want to get books in everybody's hands. We also go to the middle school for programs, and we have a staff member who also coordinates getting books out to assisted living facilities.
I think along with that, when we mentioned about the outreach for preschool too, is that we have great story times for children starting as young as 9 months, all the way up through probably 5 or 6 years old.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I just think it's good to know, because I had a lady come in recently and I asked her if her granddaughter was involved in story time. And she said, no, she's too young. She's 2. And I said, au contraire. She absolutely could be involved. And that was very exciting for this grandma to find that out.
It's also really exciting for us as staff. I used to work in the children's department, and getting to see the little kids who are so excited to come into story time. They can hardly wait for you to call them and say it's time for story time to start, and getting to know the families. Especially like in circulation, like you, Jenny, you get to know people so well. We get to watch these kids grow up and like see them go from like the picture books to reading all of the whatever it is that they're interested in, and watching families grow is awesome. It's definitely one of the best parts of being in the library. And they walk in the door and they see us and they wave, and there are some people that like they specifically go to your checkout station because they want to talk to you. Or
yeah, I agree. It's a lot of fun to me, whether I'm out front or at the window. Incidentally, we do have a window drive-through. If you're unable to come in to get your stuff, you can just come to the back and we will greet you there just as if you had come in. And it's always wonderful. I love trying to learn everyone's name. I obviously do not know everyone's name. We have thousands of patrons, but we do have some regular people that come, and it is just wonderful to connect with them. We have moms that come in and are newly pregnant, and then all of a sudden they've got that baby in their arms, and I just love watching that happen, and it's very special to be here.
For sure. So yeah, families coming in, what I was thinking of is we actually have a lot of homeschool families that come and use resources at the library, like our study rooms, which we have 3 rooms that can be reserved. And it's just like a nice place to step aside and be able to have those kids do schoolwork outside of sitting at home. Or we have people who just do meetings there. We have tutors and all kinds of folks that use the study rooms. And our meeting rooms, actually, we have Boy Scout and Girl Scout troops that use our bigger meeting rooms. And we use it for our larger programs, too, when we need a little bit more space. So those rooms, also free to use, free to book. I love it.
Yeah, I know. I homeschooled most of my children, and we utilized the library all the time. We would use it for curriculum and for books. And at the time, if we didn't own a computer, we could come in and use computers. And that is just very valuable. One thing that we have now at the library that we didn't have when I was homeschooling was our mobile hotspots. And a lot of people don't know that we have these. These are like little miniature Wi-Fis that you take around. Basically, you can connect up to 10 devices on them. You can take them with you on vacation, which comes in very handy, trust me. Especially if you have a low data plan, it's amazing. We are offering those hotspots. You're able to sign up. You can get them once a month for a week, or you can get them once a year for 2 weeks. And we just have you call in. And if we have them available for you, we'll get you one. And if it's not, you get on a waiting list. But these mobile hotspots are, no pun intended, a hot thing. And so people really do enjoy that. And it is very helpful. I've had so many positive comments like, this just saved our vacation. We were able to use our GPS and our phone, and we didn't have to worry about that. So those are great.
For road trips, I am a fan of having a hotspot for a road trip. Yeah, just because you're not using your own data, it's great. And anywhere that there's Verizon mobile service, the hotspots will work, which isn't always great when you're like going camping somewhere really rural, but on the way there, you'll have a little bit of Wi-Fi for a little while anyway. So another free thing that we have is a puzzle exchange, which is super popular right now. So this is great. We have a collection of puzzles. We have so many puzzles, and you can come in, pick 1 or 2 or 5 out and take them home. And if you bring them back, that's okay. If you don't bring them back, that's okay. You can also donate puzzles to the puzzle exchange. And we have puzzles for all ages too. We have some that are just like a dozen pieces for, a toddler. And then we have some that are 1,000 pieces or more if you're really into the complicated puzzles.
I am a fan of the 1,000-piece puzzles. I take it as a personal challenge, and my children think I'm crazy because they're like, puzzles are supposed to be relaxing, Mom. No, you have to get it done. If I start it, I get it done. So about 4 hours, about 1,000-piece puzzle. I'm pretty anal.
I have resigned to not doing puzzles because I have a mischievous cat that would probably eat the pieces, and I would come back with too many missing pieces. So puzzles are not a thing happening at my house. We also have a paperback exchange, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's just paperbacks. You don't even have to check out. We just have a little sheet. You can write down how many that you took, and you can also donate to the paperback exchange. We actually have a special collection in our paperback exchange of just Christmas books because there are so many Christmas books. And just having those out during the holiday season is really fun too. A new thing that we are starting is the Library of Things. Are you excited for this?
I am so excited. We are huge board game people at my home, and that is going to be one of the things that's going to be in our Library of Things. So I'm very excited to try out some new games.
Board games can be so expensive too. Like, it's nice, but like if you don't know if you want to buy the game, and spend the like $30 on it, being able to just borrow a board game from the library, perfect for that. We're actually going to have some educational things in the Library of Things. There's a lot of things in this Library of Things. Some educational like puzzles for spelling, some Lego Duplo sets, and all kinds of just like fun activities for the whole family.
Do you know when that's going to officially launch?
Officially, that's going to start very soon. Daphne, our director, is working very hard on it right now. We have a shelf space designated for it. You'll have to stay tuned for when the launch date for Library of Things happens.
I know that it has been very popular in a lot of other libraries. I know that they've done, I don't know that exactly everything our library will have, but I know other libraries have done like cake pans, they've done like ukuleles and different things like that.
I have seen lawnmowers in some libraries, library of things. I don't think that's something that we're going to do. Maybe in the future down the road as it develops, as that collection develops, but we are not starting out with lawnmowers for sure.
Yeah, I feel like maybe avoiding power tools is a good idea. It seems like that could be a huge liability. So we'll see what we come up with, though, and I know it's going to be very popular.
So popular, speaking of popular, so we have a fun little book chat that we do once a month on Facebook. If you didn't know, the library is on Facebook. Literally just search Orrville Public Library and you'll find us. This little chat is called Book Buzz, which you participate in, Jenny, and I do help run. And we just talk for an hour about what we've been reading and sharing, you know. Jenny has this great system when she posts hers that she puts little stars next to the titles. So you can see what she thinks about the 12 books that she read last month.
Yeah, I just feel like if you're going to say what you read, you ought to tell people if you liked it or not. I mean, not every book's going to be for everybody. And just because I did or didn't like a book doesn't mean that you will or won't like the book, but at least gives you an idea of where I'm coming from. One of the things that we have coming up in August, so I'm not sure when this podcast will actually go out to the airwaves, but just in case it's before August 25th, we have our trendy titles, which we do in the spring and in the fall, usually October, but this year there's a lot going on at the library in the fall. So we are going to be doing it August 25th from 1 to 2. Marcia, who is in the reference, is in charge of that. I will be there. I'm trying to get some of these books read, and I'm hoping to be able to give some insight into some of those books. But we're very excited to do trendy titles again. Mostly the library, I'd say we're just very excited to be meeting again and doing things in person because I don't like to mention the C word, but you know, that shut down a lot of things for the last 2 years. So we're very excited to have people back in the building, getting back together, doing book club and trendy titles and all those fun things that we really miss doing in story time. The kids have loved being back in the building for story time.
Hearing all those little feet running around upstairs, having a great time. It makes the building feel alive again in ways that we didn't have for a good while there. So Marcia does work really hard on trendy titles. She looks through all kinds of different magazines, publishing magazines, to see what's coming up, what's anticipated to be popular, what, you know, familiar authors are coming up with new, interesting, and who knows what titles. And we do actually take her presentation and we make a video out of it that we post onto our YouTube channel. So you can also follow the library on YouTube as well. We have some storytime videos there. There's the trendy titles videos. And you'll also find the database of the month videos where you can learn about some of the database resources that are available through our website, and a couple videos about how to use eMedia. In case you're interested in Hoopla or Libby, you can go to our YouTube channel and learn about how to use those.
And I am a huge fan of Libby. I usually have at least 1 or 2 or more books on my phone that I am reading. I also use the audiobooks. And Libby is a great app, highly recommend, because you have it on your phone. You always have your phone with you, so you always have a book stopped at a stoplight or, you know, wherever you just decide to pull it out and read.
Please note the library does not encourage you to be reading books while driving.
No, I meant I was the passenger, not the driver, obviously.
Right, exactly. So that app is called Libby, Libby. It's really easy to use, interact with, and it has more titles than we have in our building, which we have like 50,000 books in this building, and Libby has even more of that. And that's something that we share with CleveNet, which is the library consortium that we're a part of. And CleveNet has 45 library systems which is everything from Cleveland to, oh gosh, I'm going to be so wrong. You know some of the libraries that are a part of Cleveland better than me.
We go as far northwest as Burchard County Library Public System. It's not a county, sorry, but Burchard Public Library, which is like the Fremont area, which is about 30 minutes from Toledo. And then I know that we might be about the furthest south, actually. We do have McKinley Memorial, which is in Stark County. That might be our only Stark County. But Cuyahoga County, Cleveland has, I don't know, probably close to 1 million or so libraries. Maybe not that many. But
I think it's like 40. I don't think it's 1 million.
Well, we have one in our little town, so I don't know, 40 seems like 1 million to me. But we do have a lot of places, and it's awesome. I just love that when I travel, or if I go up to Cleveland or just travel around Ohio, and we'll go past like Clyde or something, a place I would have never heard of. I'm like, we've got a library there. So that's very exciting to me. I'm kind of a nerd that way.
So having an Orrville Public Library card gets you access to collections at Cleveland and Clyde and Burchard and the 45 other library systems, and that includes all of their branches, which is amazing. It's literally access to millions of materials.
If you're looking for a book and we can't find it in the CleveNet system, that book probably either A, never existed, or B, just was so old that it just can't be found. It's very, very rare for our girls in the reference department not to find a book for you.
We will try our hardest to find a book for you. We will try so hard. All right. Well, let's talk about a couple of programs that we have coming up. You had mentioned earlier book club. Book club is back. You asked, and we are finally making it happen again.
Yay. I'm so excited. Book club is going to meet on the second Thursday in September, October, and November. So the first one will be Thursday, September 8th. It will be at 10:30 in the morning and at 6:30 in evening. And we have the books here for you. The book that they're going to be doing is called The Reading List. It's by Sarah Nisha Adams. I read it last year. It was one of my favorite top reads of 2021. It's a book about a reading list. So it's right on the nose with the title of the book. Some of the books that were on the reading list within the book are To Kill a Mockingbird, Rebecca, Kite Runner, Pride and Prejudice. There were, I think, a list of between 8 and 10 books that were in the list. And it was really fun for me because I had actually read all but one of them. It's just this list that is found at a library, and this person sees it, and it says, if you ever need a friend or if you need something, and it gives this list, and this person goes through it, and then they put it somewhere else, and another person finds it, and then all these people kind of get connected, and it's light reading, and it's fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I hope that everyone that comes to book club, even if they can't come to book club, I really recommend picking up this book and giving it a try.
We have several copies of that available. We have audiobook versions of it available as well. And we are doing 2 sessions, the morning and the evening, like Jenny said. They're run by different people, so it could be different conversations. It'd be interesting to see how that goes. If you're feeling ambitious and want to come to book club twice in one day, you could totally do that.
Or you could just stay all day. Come for the 10:30, just sit in the library, do some free reading, and then come back at 6:30 if you want to.
Just come enjoy the ambiance, right?
Yeah, maybe you'll see some of those little people we've been talking about, and you'll catch on to their enthusiasm for reading again. And just in case, I don't know if maybe you haven't read in a while, maybe you've just kind of lost your love of reading. So I recommend coming in, talking to our reference staff. You can talk to me, just talk to one of us, and we'll try to connect you with a book that would really get you back into that again. Because I think one of our first loves as children is reading. I think there's so many fond memories of just being taught how to read, or having your parent read to you. You have a bedtime story, you have prayers together, and you have a bedtime story, and that's just something that you could always get back to, and that's what we're here for, and we'd love to help you reconnect with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Reading has definitely always been a refuge for me. I'm sure for a lot of people, where you just want to step away and like step into another world, whether it's fantasy or if it's more realistic, like the reading list, you know. There's a magic in those pages.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can travel anywhere in a book, even if you don't leave your living room couch. So it's obviously, you can tell we're very passionate about books and reading, and probably makes sense since we work at a library, but it's something that we love to share with others as well.
Absolutely.
Another thing that's coming up in October, Saturday, October 22nd specifically, we will have our local artists festival. Back in the spring, we did a local author event, which was an amazing success. So we're super excited about the local artists coming. Dawn, do you know about how many have signed up so far?
I'm not sure. Marcia told me the other day how many she had heard back from. I think we're up to about 10 or 12 now. And it's a variety of artists that we've reached out to. So we're hoping to have people who are potters or who do wood carving, painting, sculpting, just all kinds of different things. Just like we had different authors who wrote different genres, we're going to have artists who make all kinds of amazing things. And it's a free event, so you can bring the family out and come see some just artwork and learn something new from people in our community who are from Northeast Ohio and are making awesome things.
One other thing I wanted to mention that is new to our library this year, maybe you have seen it parked in our parking lot. We have our mobile outreach van. And we are very excited about that. We're not going to talk a whole lot about it right now. In a couple of episodes, we will be having our director, Daphne, join us, and she will definitely be able to update us on the mobile outreach van and how that's going to be used in the community. And we're so excited just to have it. It's bright and red and shiny, and if you drive by the library, we're sure you'll notice it.
Mm-hmm. It says library on the go on the side. I'm so excited for what we can do with that van, where we can take it and who we can take books too. We can take reading everywhere.
And hopefully Dawn and I will even go on location at some point with the library on the go, and that will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think that we have pretty much covered everything that is new and coming up at the library for our first podcast, which again, we're so excited to have done, and thank you for joining us. Again, this is Dawn and Jenny with Beyond the Shelf with OPL. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. We'll catch up with you later.